What's up, everybody? My name is Jake with VFX To Go, and I'm here bringing you another breakdown of the breakdown, where we scrub through visual effects reels from some of the top visual effects studios in the industry. And today is no exception. We have one of the best, Industrial Light and Magic, bringing you Star Wars: The Force Awakens. Let's just get right into it. I love all the layers I'm seeing here. This shot in particular, it starts off digital, but it transitions to a practical shot quite a bit. So let's take a look at the original plate. Now right here, we have an entire crew here, so the entire shot has been replaced. But as you see, as we pan over to the right, they have an actual landing vehicle here just in place in the landed position. So as we look back, let's scrub back a little bit. You see that we only see one of them actually land. This one is already landed, and as we cross over to it, you see they overlay it with a CGI lander, but as it opens, we're revealing the actual practical piece that the actors come running out of. And we transition to a live action set, mostly live action. This is pretty great green screen work. What you'll notice about this, the green screen's helping quite a bit, but if we look at how her body is in relation to the framing, you see this arm is coming across here. It's actually overlapping with the edge of the green screen. So is the rope she has here too. Anytime you have a piece of wardrobe props, an arm or a limb of the actor crossing over the green screen, things like this still need to be rotoscoped. I think is really interesting is the light on her face piece there, and her goggles. When you have this right here, that's a really difficult thing to key. And so that's probably just rotoscoped and overlapped. They overlay the lens flare over it. So now let's see. Let's look at the original set. We have a little bit of actual set here that's been built. They even have these God rays coming in from the right, like they pumped in atmosphere to the set. Now, typically when you're shooting on a green screen, or you need to key anything, I would advise against having any sort of atmosphere, fog, or God rays in this particular instance, because it makes keying a nightmare. And especially look over here, the green screen itself it's got quite a bit of gradient on it. But here's the thing. When you're green screening, you're typically using just the area along the edge. You're still doing some sort of masking and a little bit of rotoscoping, but you're only using the edge around here, and you're chroma keying in sections, because you see how unevenly lit this is. Now that can take a lot of work to do, but again, we're talking about Industrial Light and Magic. They practically invented the visual effects industry as we know it today, so they're not going to worry about a little bit of a little rough key or a little bit of rotoscoping. I think they can handle it just fine. I love this shot because you see what they're actually working with. They're working with something that's practical and actually there. You start with something real, and it makes the visual effects look just that much better. If we look at the bottom, we see that there's some tracking markers all over the over the wheels and the base. All of that's going to get painted out, as we see here. I love seeing things like this. What's crazy about this, I love this, but when we back it up, you see that they probably put more render power into generating this right here than they did for this right here, because this right here is essentially, I mean, they built a CG model to build that, but that's essentially a matte painting. So really, you're just rendering one. There's not a lot of parallax in the camera. It's just a panning shot. So you're just rendering that really one time as a background painting, a digital background painting, but a background painting nonetheless. And so when it's there, I mean, you just render it the one time.
60 portions.
That's fantastic. So as we're seeing here, some phenomenal creature work by Industrial Light and Magic. This is what they do. But they mostly used a lot of practical elements for that costume and just replace the face. That's a great technique when you're doing things like this that need to be seamless and look great. And here we are with more breakdown flexing. So all of that. All right, so I love seeing that in the original plate. There's quite a bit going on here. I mean, it's not entirely CG. I mean, like everything that people are interacting with are real. So let we see these two pilots in the middle. Those guys are CG. The droid is CG. Well, let's scrub through it to see what else has changed. Now, on the left, it looks like we have some stormtroopers. They've all stayed. They've just added a TIE fighter behind it. The pilots in the back, they stayed. Those officers stayed. They added some more troopers. They kept that trooper. They've replaced the transport on the right. That's interesting. That's probably for composition. They probably found a better composition that they liked here after the fact, and ended up rotoscoping all these stormtroopers on the right. So I want to take a moment to appreciate something like this. See, just having the set built as something for them to interact with is a huge deal.
Okay, go. This way.
47 upper hangar control.
Industrial Light and Magic really knows how to make a reel. Again, with these breakdowns. That's a great breakdown. Let's back that up, take another look. Now, one thing I notice about this shot is we do see there's a little bit of green screen going on. I'm curious what the green screen is for if you're just going to end up rotoscoping everybody anyway. They've got just the section on the right where they're... That's interesting too. Look at that. It looks like the piece of the Millennium Falcon that they have here, along with the green screen over there too, is the original landing ramp. And they built it there. But I'm going to assume from what I'm looking at here, and the direction they're running, they might have made a change on the day. They put that there with the intent that the Millennium Falcon was going to be facing a certain direction. But on the day, they might have found a better frame that they liked. Like, if we look from here, I know this shot itself came from a much longer shot, but the pan over to reveal the Millennium Falcon before the camera rises up, that might have just been they might have just found a better shot that they wanted, but that also meant that the characters are going to run in a different direction. They're running in a direction to the left as if this ramp wasn't even here. The ramp is actually over here, so you can see that the piece that they had built, let's back it up a little bit. So you can see the piece that they built of it over here. Let's look a little further. Actually is over here along with the ramp. So that must have been a change they made on the day and didn't want to... I mean, once that set's there, it probably would take them an entire day or two to move that thing over here where they wanted it. So they just say, hey, run in that direction and we'll make the most of it. Now, again, going back to the green screen, you're not keying much of anything. I mean, for this one instance right here where Rey runs in front of it, sure, but there's so much ground that they cover that the green screen sort of feels a bit moot. But again, it's ILM. They can do whatever they want. And there they go again, just showing off. They're just showing off now. Come on. Come on. Great breakdown of BB-8.
Secretly supporting the treachery of the loathsome resistance.
All right, I'm going to stop here before we get too far. Let's back that up because I want to see what this practical set looked like. We're only going to get like little sections of this, so that's why we scrub through these things. It seems they've built the platform they're standing on and then blue screened everything behind them. And it actually looks like they've replaced quite a bit of that platform anyway to give it further texture, so it blends in with the scene. How much of the floor can we see? Looks like they kept the floor, but man, the amount of detail they put into this is really something. I feel like I shouldn't be as amazed as I am these days, but man, it's always awesome to see.
Today is the end.
Now they're just showing off. They've been showing off this whole time. It's a show reel. Of course they're showing off.
Han told me.
Go straight at him! Don't let these thugs scare you!
Alright, so let's look at this. Okay. Just looking at a shot like this is incredible. You see all these layers, the atmosphere, the fog, the lighting, the renders of the solid objects rendering, the surfaces of the X-wings and the trench that they're flying through. It's just incredible. When you start with something like this and you add all these layers, I mean, it must have been so much of this must have been procedurally built, so I mean, I can't imagine a single artist adding all those fine greebles throughout the whole thing. But these layers of smoke and atmosphere and steam, just incredible. And this right here, in some way, shape, or form, I'm gonna estimate 99.9% of VFX artists, this was probably one of the very first things they ever tried to make was a lightsaber, myself included. When I learned visual effects, one of the things I tried doing is a lightsaber. Now, we didn't have the really cool lightsabers you have today where they actually cast light onto you. We had the I don't know, was it Hasbro toys, the plastic extendable lightsabers that you throw it out there and they break after 2 whacks. But this right here, this is why so many artists have gotten into VFX, because of the lightsaber. That's a fascinating shot. Let's take a look at how they put that together. Right here we have Kylo on the left and Rey on the right, and in between them, it is something of a chasm that they started to build. But I'm going to wager a lot of this environment, I mean, no duh, but a lot of the environment was replaced just with CGI. So let's scrub through and see what they used and what they didn't. Now, for Kylo Ren, he's just on the ground. There's not really any trees nearby him over here. So they must... but there are over here. So they're probably just cut him out entirely. And same with her over here. They probably just cut her out because the ground doesn't at all match what's over here. So everything here must be CGI, except for them. Fluid sims are great. And there you have it. Industrial Light and Magic, The Force Awakens. Whether you like the sequel trilogy or not, the work they did here is absolutely phenomenal. Speaking for myself, I know that Star Wars influenced me in a lot of the visual effects work that I do today. It really propelled what I do. It made me want to learn how to do these things. Again, the first thing that I and so many other VFX artists have learned probably was the lightsaber, how to do it, how to uh, paint over a lightsaber and add that glow. And I have so many fond memories of spending hours drawing that lightsaber frame by frame over a scene that we did in the backyard as kids. But hey, tell me what you think. Did I miss something in this reel? Do you have any insights as to how some of these shots were done? Or is there a reel that you think I need to check out? Please let me know in the comments below. I'm going to do a couple more of these Star Wars reels as we move forward. So stay tuned for that. If you like the effects that you saw in this reel, please check out the link below and see Industrial Light and Magic's full VFX breakdown of The Force Awakens. And if you like this video, please give us a like and subscribe. We always appreciate it. And be sure to hit the bell for notifications so you know when our next video comes out. You can find us on Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok at VFX2Go, and check out our website at vfx2go.com. I've been Jake, and this has been another Breakdown of the Breakdown. See you next time.